Good evening, everybody. You're watching St. Joe's University Hawks Ice Hockey here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting, live here on YouTube. My name is Carlo Pascal. Thank you for joining us here for this one tonight. A great one here, set for 5 o'clock start time, really 5:15 or so, here between the St. Joe's Hawks and the George Washington University Revolutionaries as we get ready for this one today once again. Thank you for joining us here on BSB. SJU red hot here this season. They dropped their first 2 games of the year, but since then, 11 straight victories for a 11-2 record so far this season. On that 11-game winning streak, they have been spectacular so far this year. 74 goals over those 13 games, averaging nearly 5.7 goals per game for this extremely good Hawks squad. Then over on the other side of things, JWU 4-5 on the year so far, 12 points this season, coming into their 10th game of the 25-26 campaign. They won their last game against Georgetown 5-4 back on the 24th. These two teams met earlier in October back on the 18th. It was a 11-2 victory for SJU as they look for another victory here against George Washington, this time at home here at the Skatium here in Haverford, PA. Here on the 1st of November. Halloween just passed yesterday, so belated happy Halloween, and we're almost at Thanksgiving here in 2025. This year has flown by, so has the hockey season already. Game number 14 of the year for SJU, as we've got about 35 seconds left to go here in warm-ups before we get kicked into gear for this game between the Revolutionaries and the Hawks. We'll take a look at the starting lineups before we get into things here. We'll start with George Washington. Their 5 skaters: Ethan Redden, number 15, number 9, Thomas Banaka, number 11, Dennis Smetkov, number 12, Nicholas Tangretti, and number 23, Jacob Bergerman. And then in between the pipes, the number 31 of Sage Yoke, backstopping the Revolutionaries for this one today. And then the 5 starters for SJU: number 3, James Carpenter, number 8, Shane Wilson, number 14, Jackson Shanahan, number 24, Robert Romarino, and number 44, Peter Borman, the 5 skaters. And then Mark Zimborski gets the nod in between the pipes for St. Joe's here for this one today. As we get ready to go, we'll send it on down to the PA booth. We'll get the starters once again, then the national anthem and puck drop here at the Skatium. Let's send it on down now. We'll be back in just a sec. Always a wonderful rendition of the national anthem here from the Skatium here in Haverford, PA, as we get ready for this one. They said, skip the starter straight to the anthem. Let's get going here between the Revolutionaries and the Hawks here in this one. Team's getting ready here for the opening puck drop. Yoke versus Szymborski, the goaltending matchup here for this one today. Yoke, a senior from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. Szymborski, a sophomore from Winona, New Jersey. As we are ready to rock here for the first period. Center's getting ready for the face-off at the center ice face-off dot, and we're off and running here for this one between the Revolutionaries and the St. Joe's Hawks. Dumped into the zone, quickly picked back up here by Banaka. The 6'8" skater, the freshman from the Czech Republic, sends this one around. Gets it out of the zone, chasing after this, goes right in, but it's calmed down there by Wilson. SJU in their white home jerseys. As that one's laid back by Borman, he'll get it back here along the wall. Moved around there by Banaka, can't get it out. George Washington in their blue uniforms with gold yellowish stripes and shoulders as this finds its way back here to Szymborski. And he will just cover up on that one as it finds its way to him. Here with 9:14 left to go in the first. Face-off one back there by George Washington. That shot went wide, though, as this finds its way to the wall. Bouncing puck down low. JW with a turnaround shot saved there by Szymborski. That was a good shot there as this one spun back there for a moment. Kept in the zone at the point by Von Jess. Now it gets by him and comes back out. Delayed offside on the play. Entering right back in, here comes George Washington again. Able to stay on, this is right into the corner. He's picked away. Collected here now by Gross as he'll send this around the wall, able to find it over to Fingerhut. Fingerhut will look up, gets this out of the zone, bounces a puck here up for Kuba, who will send it in deep. Puck moved around by Von Jess. He can't get it out of the zone. Now out the other way. Pierre Simone will look to try and get that one back off that pass there from Joe Hecht as it's skated out here by the Hawks again. That was sent in by Kadehi as he'll try and lay the body in the corner. Good hit as it's collected back by Marapodi, who will spring it around but not out. Brazil fires a shot. That one gloved down through traffic and held onto by Yoke. One shot each for the teams here in this one so far as they look to find their footing here in this one tonight. Face-off one there by the Revolutionaries, but it's kept in the zone by St. Joe's as it's sent down to the corner for Brazil. Brazil fires. That one waffle boarded away there by Yoke. Comes out of the zone. SJU will have to regroup as Ebersol looks for an option. His pass knocked away there by the 10 of Von Rohr as it goes into the corner. Puck loose right into the slot. Brazil will send it away. Nearly got it picked off there, but Flag will get it out for about half a second. Now put back in deep. Sent around by Ebersol. Puck around the wall. Brazil with it again. He will dump in. To it first is Flag. Flag back to Brazil as he looks for an option. Up to the point. Shot from the blue line. That one went wide from Maratea. Actually, that was Borman, excuse me. As trying to drive through there was the 20 of Pat Doherty. As we're going to get an icing call here on the Revolutionaries. So the faceoff will come back into the George Washington end. Faceoff to the right here of Sage Yoke. Was won by George Washington, and they get it out. Collected here by the aid of Jane Chill. He will send in. Pass picked off, kept in the zone here by George Washington. Able to keep that good job there from Redden, but he's chased back out there by some good hustle from the Hawks. Trying to drive in, big hit there by Wilson. Nearly laid out the 23 of Bergerman. As Borman will send this one in deep. Going to chase on it. Goes Carpenter, he'll get to it first, looking to play it around, couldn't do it. As it's kept in here. That shot fired away, knocked aside with the blocker as it goes to the corner. George Washington still with it. They're able to keep this puck away from the wall as Carpenter tries to dig at it now alongside Redden. Pops back up to the point for Wilson. He cuts by one, gets by a second down to the right side corner. Looking to try and keep it down there. Carpenter goes back up to Shanahan. He looked to try and center. No one was there as that's lofted back out to the neutral zone. Dumped right back in by Romarino. Shots currently 3-2 right now in favor of St. Joe's as this is lofted out to the blue line. Romarino knocked it down for a second, but it's kept here by Smekov. And he'll have to lay off as Rowland got on top of him. Romarino with it now. He flips forward, looking to try and find a pass up to the 14 of Shanahan, but couldn't connect. Now taken back here by George Washington. Romarino with it again. He'll flip in. Corralled by George Washington. Taken by Romarino. Tried to center it back to Carpenter. Just couldn't connect on the pass. As it's played out here for Piersimoni. He fires. That one is kicked away there by Szymborski. As Carpenter gets on it behind the cage. Carpenter able to keep this puck. Has some room. Looking to get going through the neutral zone. Trying to weave his way by the defenders. Looking. Backdoor pass to Romarino. It went just wide. Beautiful feed there from Carpenter. Just couldn't get it. Was Romarino as his shot went wide. He's right back on it, though. Tried to get another chance as he's hit down to the ice. Pass out here for the 25 of Tally Jervis, who will send this one in deep. Quick pass back out here for St. Joe's as they will keep it. Gross. Gloved it down, skates it in, has Kuba behind him. He fires. That shot was blocked away as it bounces out here for Hecht. Hecht 3-on-2. Driving in here goes Piersimoni. He fires. It's gloved down by Szymborski. Face off to the left here of Mark Szymborski. One there by St. Joe's on the clear attempt. It got blocked away as it finds its way here to Lulek. He can't get it out of the zone. Bouncing puck goes up to Kuba now. Kuba looking. He tried to fire. It's just kicked aside there off that bit of a squib shot. It got tipped before it got to the net as it's lofted back out. Ebersol will go chase this one down. Ebersol. He looks up. Tries to find Kuba on the feed. It gets by. Icing is waved off. As going after this was the 16 of Neil Kadehi. Kadehi with it now. He avoids that check. Gets it back here as he lays it forward. Brazil had to stay on side as Kadehi will walk in. Kadehi looking at the circle. Spins a pass back to Brazil. He fires. That shot was blocked. Good find on that pass from Kadehi. But it's lofted up and out. And Borman will go track this one down as it finds its way back to Szymborski, and he'll just cover up. As George Washington tried to drive into the zone. Also, don't forget to tune into our other game here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting that's going on tonight. Ryder currently taking on UNCW as that one ran right off the post. That rang right off the glove side post there of Szymborski. Nearly made it a 1-0 game for the Revolutionaries. Like I was saying, though, our other game here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting tonight. The Ryder Bronx currently taking on the UNCW Seahawks. over at the Flemington Ice Arena. Mike Nistigo and Eric Johnson on the call for that one. Make sure to tune into both our games. Glad you joined us for this one as Brazil will drive in. Brazil here on the backhand spins a pass into the slot. No one was there. Picked back up by O'Rourke. He fires, bouncing puck to the side of the cage flag. Trying to get a whack at it as this goes back up to the blue line. Borman, it hops by him and comes out of the zone. As the Hawks are going to have to reset here. Trying to work their way in. Laid back here to Brazil. Brazil spins around, goes back up to the blue line. Borman there, has to walk the line, laid it off the skates of the 23 of Bergman as it's sent around the boards. Bergman will get there first. His pass picked off there by the 13 of Triolo. As it's picked by Borman again. Borman, his pass nearly taken away. Now Rowland works his way into the zone. Rowland looking. His sharp angle shot didn't get off. As it's nearly kept in there for a moment. Now Rowland lays the body into the wall, collected and played forward here by the 11 of Smekov. Finds its way back here to the defense of the Hawks though. Fingerhut, he'll send forward. Bouncing puck for Doherty, gets away from him. Fight along the boards, Smekov there alongside Triolo as it's sent in deep there by Doherty. Banaka, the 6'8" defenseman, tried to play that one away. As it's now back out of the zone. Pass to Stimmel. Stimmel along the boards. He has to play this one back to Rowland. Finds its way across here to Triolo again. As his pass meant for Romarino goes too far. Played off by Von Jess. Flying into the zone goes Pierre Simoni. His pass is taken away. Now Carpenter with it flying the other direction. Carpenter looking. He fires, his shot goes wide. That was a blistering wrister there from Carpenter as he finds Romarino on the pass. Romarino trying to dance around the defense. Couldn't do so that time as Pierre Simoni will take this one back. Shot goes wide of Szymborski as this one finds its way to Carpenter, who gets it out. Shanahan stripped of the puck. Pierre Simoni will look to get going again. Breaks his way by Carpenter as he enters the zone. Fired through and he scores! Just a shot from the outside of the circle. Beats Szymborski over the glove side, and George Washington have the lead. Szymborski just misread that one, and it finds its way over his glove side and into the cage. Szymborski wants that one back, as I think the Hawks do as well. But it's the Revolutionaries who go up 1-0 here in this one this evening. Here on this beautiful Saturday evening, here on the 1st of November, as Kuba now drives in. Kuba fires a shot. That one safe. Bouncing puck to the cage. It finds its way to the outside of the net. And we'll get the whistle. George Washington, coming into their 10th game of the year, scored 52 goals before their most recent one, as we'll get another whistle here, as that went out of play. Coming into this game, 52 goals, 5.77 goals per game. Goals against 44, 4.88 so far this year. For St. Joe's, as they'll keep this one in the zone off the draw, I mentioned there's 74 goals for so far this season, 5.69 goals per game. Their goals against, 38 goals against so far this season, coming into game number 14. That is under 3 goals a game allowed. It's 2.98 the actual total as Wilson hit the deck. No call, we continue. Puck back up to the point, kept in here. Kadehi lays off to Kuba. Kuba avoids the check as it goes into the corner. Sent around here by Maripodi. Not out of the zone as Wilson is able to keep it in. Gross got tangled up with him, though, as Kuba comes over to try and help. Bouncing puck for Kuba, goes back up to the blue line, kept in here by Wilson with the glove. He tries to dart by the defense, couldn't do so. As trying to keep it in as St. Jose can't do it. as Gross wasn't able to keep it in the zone. Wilson nearly had that one taken away. Played back to him now. Puck up to the wall for Kuba. Kuba lays off. Flying into the zone goes the 44 of Borman. He's stopped, but Gross is there to keep it in for now. Poked aside by Brazil. Some good reach there from him as he goes to the corner. Now Flag with it. Flag tried to play for Gross. Pass too hot to handle. Comes out of the zone again. Goes back to Fingerhut. His pass goes back to Laffey as he'll find Redden on the feed. Redden goes to the senior Sawyer Von Jess from Lakeville, Connecticut, as this goes all the way back into the St. Joe's end. Von Jess, 5'10", $180. As this is lifted up and out, Flag will try and chase this down. Him and Von Jess come together there at the blue line as O'Rourke tried to lay the body. This one is dumped in again. Fingerhut back to get on it. He plays off the wall, finds Rowland. His pass goes forward for Brazil, and he gets it out of the zone. Trying to chase on this goes Flag, but just wasn't there in time. 8:05 left to go here in period number 1, as that is gloved down by Szymborski. Off that draw, it looks like we're going to do it again. Face off deep into the corner here, won by George Washington as it's taken away here by St. Joe's. They will ring it around, but not out yet as it bounces here to the corner for Triolo. Now down to the wall, Ebersol. He will lift this back to Triolo. Couldn't handle the pass. Shot on target. Stopped away there right in front. As diving to knock that one away was the 27 of Jack Moore, and we get the whistle on the cover. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the play. The Revolutionaries with the shot lead right now, 10-6. As well as the 1-0 lead here up against St. Joe's. As this puck won back here by St. Joe's, they're able to skate this one out. Puck along the boards, Romarino's decked into the wall. Picked back up by Pierre Simone, he fires, that shot's blocked. Carpenter on it. Carpenter being chased away there by the 25 of Jervis as he sends this forward. Dumped into the zone. Sent around the wall, Romarino's there to get it. He's sandwiched into the glass. Carpenter will get out, lays back for Shanahan as he is knocked away by Pierre Simone. They're still getting into it with each other as this one is sent down the ice. Won't have enough juice for an icing as Borman plays a quick pass to Carpenter. He springs it forward for Shanahan. Shanahan trying to find Romarino. Back to Carpenter. He fires a shot, gloved up. There by Yoke. Carpenter will take this draw as that shot stopped away there by Yoke again. This will go into the corner. That shot came from the 14 of Jackson Shanahan. As this puck is lofted back out here looking for the 8 of Ryan Janechill. He will just send in his Fingerhut. Is able to keep the puck away there from Schuster for a minute. As it now goes to the corner here for Rowland. Rowland looks here for Fingerhut along the boards yet again. Squeezed down there by GWU as it's picked back up. Skated out by the Hawks. Had it only for a second as Smetkov will take it away. Now Romarino looking for a lane to fire. He goes up and over. Poked out of the zone there, and it takes a hop, skip, and a jump out of play there from the captain of Ethan Redden. Redden, the senior from Phillipsburg, New Jersey. 6'1", $180. As this faceoff will come back into the Revolutionaries' end. Gross will take the draw here for St. Joe's as this puck is won back to the 9 of Banaka. He will send it around the wall. Puck to the corner, now taken by Gross, looking to try and center there for Kadehi, but it's skated the other way. Quickly for Smetkov as he will dive around, looking to center that one. Good back check there from Gross as he got there first. As Kuba tries to lay a hit along the boards. Puck bouncing out. Trying to get on it was Kadehi. He's able to do so, keeps it away for now and just lays it off. Dumped into the zone by the Hawks. Gross able to get the puck away, finds lower to Kuba, looking to try and center on the backhand shot. What a stop there from Yoke with the paddle. Rebound chance, Gross can't get it to go. Somehow it didn't end up in the back of the cage. I think getting down on the play was Banaka. He knocked it away with the glove. And this will go all the way down for an icing. Here on George Washington. I don't know how that puck didn't end up in the back of the cage. Almost a wide open net there for St. Joe's, trying to tie this game up at 1. Yoke made an unbelievable blocker save. And then on a couple of rebound chances, an excellent effort from the defense of George Washington. Kadehi with it now along the boards. Pass across, able to spring this up for Gross as he will drive into the zone. Gross looking through the legs dangle, trying to center. That one goes up and over the bar. Kuba just couldn't put it home. Beautiful move there from Gross as Kadehi fires. That one redirected in front, nearly found its way to the crease. The Hawks starting to buzz, have tied the shot total at 10. Still a 1-0 game in favor of the Revolutionaries as Kuba looks to try and get on it. Couldn't do so. It's taken here by George Washington as they'll skate out of the zone with some speed. Jinniker will try and drive around. Jinkiner will keep this down in the corner, looking to get some help here from Von Rohr. As it's pinned in the left side corner, now collected by Kuba, who will spring this pass up for O'Rourke. O'Rourke in a foot race. He gets to it first. His shot goes well wide, though. Wilson into the zone. Wilson. He avoids the check, and O'Rourke will try and play it across, looking there for flag, but it's going to be called for a hand pass. Faceoff is going to come out of the zone. O'Rourke will take this draw up against the 3 of Riley Pierce-Simone. The freshman from Action, Michigan. He wins the draw, sends it across over here to Laffey, who will skate in. Bouncing puck here for Laffey. Back up to the point. Bouncing puck for flag. He tried to clear. Played across here to Brazil. Brazil trying to walk in, wasn't able to do so as Laffey will take it away. Brazil able to keep it again here in the zone though. Brazil, beautiful move to cut by, looking to try and find a lane of fire down behind the goal line, looking for a wraparound chance. It is stopped there by Yoke and he jumps on top of it. Beautiful save from Sage Yoke. Excellent stop there yet again. Has been on fire so far. Perfect 12 for 12. As Brazil will keep this one in here off that clear attempt. Couldn't get to it down behind the goal line as it is gloved down by Rowland at the point, but sent right back out. Fingerhut has to tap it away as Rowland gets back on it at center ice. The Revolutionaries will send in. They will give chase as Szymborski will play this away. Brazil there. He'll put it back for Rowland. Pierce-Simone will keep it in. Looking lower, trying to find Jervis. As it finds its way across here to O'Rourke. He gets it out of the zone. Tangretti will drive this one in. Rowland looks for some options, has to play off almost an errant pass as Fingerhut isn't able to get it out. Good keep here from George Washington as Fingerhut now will skate in and we're going to get a whistle. Looks like a penalty here on the play. And this is going to be on Rowland. It's going to be a cross-checking call here on the Hawks. So to the power play go the Revolutionaries. And when you're shorthanded, grit matters most. Just like the Greg McDonald Foundation fighting to keep kids in the game with scholarships and support. Be where your feet are. Be part of the legacy. As that one is stopped there by Szymborski. And that one is lofted down the ice there by St. Joe's here on the kill. 1:55 left to go here in the first period. 1 minute and 42 seconds left to go on the power play for George Washington. Quickly into the zone, Pierce-Simone looking to lay this one off. That shot whiffed on there by Smekov. As they try and center this one, that shot went wide, got redirected in the middle. Looking for Jervis in the center as it's sent down by St. Joe's. Yoke will play this one off. Romarino able to keep it in. Looking for Carpenter for a shorthanded chance as it finds its way to the near wall. Carpenter there. He avoids one check. Able to keep it again. Trying to keep it down low behind the goal line. Now it's finally taken here by George Washington as they'll spring it out to the neutral zone. 1 minute and change left to go here in the period. 56 seconds left to go on the power play, and that's going to be called offside here on George Washington again. Off the draw, it's picked up here by the 9 of Banaka as he will send this one in. Collected, though, by St. Joe's, but they can't get it out of the zone. Stopped at the blue line. Kadehi with a good back check to knock that one away. As it's taken the other direction here by Gross, trying to split the defense. Got tangled up there with Tangretti. As this pass finds it across to Hecht. Hecht nearly blown up there by Kadehi. Down to 35 seconds left to go here in the period. 20 seconds left to go on the power play for George Washington. As this puck is sent out of the zone again, will find its way back here to Smekov, who sends it forward. Finds Bergman. He'll lay it back off. Kadehi nearly took that one away as it is dumped into the zone. Kadehi with it. Bouncing puck, he tried to keep it. Picked back up by Hecht. As it was nearly picked off by Brazil, he will try and get it into the zone for a chance. Can't do it. 2 seconds left to go in the period, and that will do it for the first. So a 1-0 game in favor of the George Washington Revolutionaries here after 20 minutes of hockey between the Hawks and George Washington. We're going to step aside, though, take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the second period of action for you. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. You're watching St. Joe's Hawks Ice Hockey, presented by Breakout Sports Broadcasting, live here on YouTube. My name is Carlo Pascal, back here for period number 2 between the Hawks and the George Washington University Revolutionaries. Here for this one this evening. Coming into period number 2, it's a 1-0 game in favor of the Revolutionaries. Shots currently 12-11 in favor of St. Joe's. They haven't found the back of the net yet, looking to try and keep their winning streak alive here in this one. 11 straight victories for SJU coming into the game today. 11-2 on the year. As they look to try and tie this game here in the second period. Once again, thank you for joining us here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Before we get into the middle frame, once again, check out our other game going on here on BSB right now. The Rider University Bronx taking on the UNCW Seahawks. 3-2 game at the end of 2 periods over there between Rider and UNC Wilmington. So make sure to tune into that one as well as this one here as we get ready for the second. Teams ready here to start this middle frame. Puck is dropped and we're off and running here for the second as Shanahan will try and fire that in, but it's blocked. Puck goes deep into the corner. Carpenter will dig it out. Looking to go back up to the point. It's kept in the zone by Romarino. Good job to keep it in. As to the wall goes Shanahan. Shanahan up to the point at the blue line. Puck sent around here by the 8 of Wilson. Finds its way to the wall for Romarino. He tried to go to the point for Borman, but it's skated out here by Smekov. As he'll try and drive in, Romarino is all over him as Carpenter will lay this one back. Shane Wilson, the captain for this St. Joe squad, will send it forward, finds Romarino as it's dumped into the zone. Shanahan looks for an option, tried to find Carpenter on the pass. Wraparound chance is stopped there by Yoke, and the net comes off. Sage Yoke in the first period made some unbelievable saves. To keep it a 1-0 game for his Revolutionaries team. Spectacular blocker save as well as a big stop on a scramble in front. Got some help from his defense as well. As off the draw, this is lofted up right into the ceiling here at the Skatium. That went straight into the low ceiling here at the Skatium here in Haverford, PA. Puck will stay in the SJU end. As this one is now lofted out of the zone, corralled down by Rowland as he will send it across to Fingerhut. Fingerhut will dump in. Chasing after goes Gross. Back to get it, though, is Morapodi as he gets laid into by Gross, trying to send it across, and the net comes flying off again, and we'll get a whistle as into the net went Kuba. We'll get another stoppage here with 18:50 left to go in the second. SJU trying to tie this game early here in the second. Off the draw, another win by George Washington, and they will get it out of the zone as trying to lay the body was Kadehi. He's bumped off the puck. Trying to center a pass into the middle where the Revolutionaries couldn't do it. It was off the stick there of Joe Hecht. As this puck bounces here for Jervis. And he will send in, Rowland to the wall. Kuba there over to help him. He takes a bump along the boards, but Jervis keeps it in the zone. He fires that one redirected up and over. There by Pierce Simone. And it goes up into the netting. Face off to the left here of Mark Szymborski in between the pipes. Here for St. Joe's tonight. Has allowed 1 goal so far as that shot sails wide. As Gross will spin this pass out the other way for Kuba. One-on-one into the zone. Kuba fires. That one rings off the far post. Nearly tied the game at 1. As trying to drive through Kadehi to the backhand. What a save there by Yoke. Puck back up to the point. Good keep there from St. Joseph's. They put it down low. Von Jess is there trying to keep it away there from Gross as Kadehi lays into him. Ebersol will step up, keeps this one in for a second. Now it's sent back out as it's played across by Gross. Loose pass. Ebersol will get on it now. Will skate back, look for an option, flips it forward, but it's knocked down. Fired in onto Szymborski, and he will hold on for the cover off that shot from Bergman. Couple of great chances there for the Hawks. Just can't get it to go as that one rang off the iron there from Gross before. As chased from the circle goes Zane O'Rourke. Trying to flip it out as Borman. It knocked off the back of the skates of Smekov. As now it's lifted up and out by Borman. Bounces past the defense. Chasing after goes Flag as he lays the body in the corner. What a hit there by Danny Flag, 5'6", taking down the 6'8" Thomas Banaka as it goes the other way. Banaka fires. That one was blocked in front. Borman blocked that one in the middle. Banaka back up to the point. Finds it up here to Smekov. He will play it lower. Trying to find somebody in the slot. Net didn't come off its moorings. Looked like it may have got tapped, but it comes out of the zone anyway. Seems like it's okay as Szymborski checks it behind him. Now O'Rourke will send into the zone. Brazil will go chase on it here for the Hawks. Brazil looking to center, bouncing puck in the slot. Turnaround shot there from Doherty went wide. Doherty on it again. Down behind the goal line. 16:30 left to go here in the second. As this one sends its way across to Smekov. He can't get it out, and we're going to get a penalty here as Roland touches it. I think this is going to be on Brazil. It looks like it's actually on the 91 of Danny Flag, who's going to go to the box. So Flag will go to the sin bin, and SJU will go to the Greg McDonald Foundation penalty kill. When you're shorthanded, grit matters most, just like the Greg McDonald Foundation, fighting to keep kids in the game with scholarships and support. Be where your feet are. Be part of the legacy. St. Joe's tries to kill off this penalty kill, or this power play here. That one kicked off the side of the cage. Finds its way back up to the point here for Laffey. Plays it across over to Redden. Redden fighting there with Carpenter. That one hops off the glass again down low. Roland there trying to move it aside. Finds it over to Fingerhut, who will get this one out of the zone. Finds Carpenter shorthanded into the zone flying. Carpenter tried to lay back. No one was there to help him on that shorthanded breakout. As we're going to get a high sticking call here, as that puck will come back down. This shot goes wide of the cage and hops up into the netting. Right off that face-off there. Face-off will stay in the zone. Carpenter will take it for SJU. One there by Pierce Simone. As this puck is sprung out yet again here, trying to enter the zone. With 1:12 left to go on the power play are the Revolutionaries. Puck along the boards. Pass up here to Smekov. He looks for an option, goes to the point, but it skips out of the zone past the defense. Carpenter will chase. As a long stretch pass there by Yoke is tipped in. Borman will go down and get it, but they're going to call it an icing. Thought that was tipped there by Pierce Simone, but apparently it wasn't. as this will come all the way back into the Revolutionaries' end. Scramble off that dot. Pierce-Simone and Gross got tied up as it works its way to the wall. Rich, he will send it across. Pass laid forward for Pierce-Simone, sends it across back to Rich. Had it in his skates, but he lost it as Fingerhut will go the other way. Fingerhut, he's taken down, and we're going to get a call. Trying to play it across to Cadet, he couldn't find him, and now we'll play some 4-on-4 for 32 seconds. And Pierce-Simone calling that a soft penalty as he will go to the box. It's going to be a tripping call here on him. So with 14:50 left to go in the second, we'll play 28 seconds of 4-on-4 as that shot fired on save there by Yoke again, and it's just lofted right up into the netting. And in about 22 seconds, it'll be a shortened SJU power play. Face-off goes behind the goal line, quickly taken away by the Revolutionaries as they try and spring it out. Bouncing puck, knocked down for a second, finds its way out here. Up to the 20 of Hecht. Excuse me, that was the 10 of Gregor von Rohr, as Roland now goes the other way. Roland quickly into the zone, looking to try and get a shot off, had it bounce away from him. And now it's going to be a power play here for SJU. Cycling around is Kadehi. This power play is brought to you by the Greg McDonald Foundation. Greg McDonald was a proud St. Joe's alum who believed hockey builds leaders. Be where your feet are. Be part of the legacy. As that one hops up and out of play. Shots 17-13. Here in favor of St. Joe's as they will have this one here at the point. Pass across, looking, Carpenter fires, that one went wide. Rebound chance got blocked away again as that got sent into the slot, now finds its way to Gross. Gross back up to the point. Wilson from the blue line, redirected just wide by Romarino. Carpenter on it again, finds Wilson at the blue line. Wilson to Carpenter, he fires a one-timer and scores! Carpenter gets on it on the one-time blast on the power play. Yoke got a piece of it, but it bounced by him, didn't get enough, and we're tied at 1. So Carpenter ties this game up at 1. And it's a brand new ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Fitting as we've got Game 7 of the World Series later tonight, set for an 8 p.m. EST start time. As flying in, here comes SJU again, looking for their second of the game. Romarino gets to that, and we'll get a whistle here. Looks like the net may have came off. Down behind Sage Yoke, indeed it did. As we are tied at 1. Carpenter on that one-timer from before on the power play. Like I said, Yoke got a piece of it, but didn't get enough as Carpenter put it into the back of the cage. He has it again here at the point. Plays it across, walking in, shot to the back door, went wide for Romarino. Just shanked on the shot, hit it off the back end of his blade as Carpenter has it at the point again. Carpenter searching, lays back here, looking to go over to the other side, trying to get it off was Kuba, but he lost the handle, and it's cleared out of the zone. Some excellent passing there from St. Joe's, just couldn't convert on it. Carpenter, Romarino, and Kuba trying to go to work as Kuba picks it up now. Pass across, trying to work their way into the zone. Flying in, looking to lay it back. Not able to find it through. That one through, they score! It's Gross! Gross from the top of the circle! And it is 2-1 in favor of St. Joe's. Gross with a seeing eye shot. Found its way into the back of the cage past Yoke, and just like that, St. Joe's are up 2-1. 2 goals here in the middle frame. As there's a big hit there from Stimmel, trying to collect the puck is Doherty. Doherty will just flip this one in. Off the draw, trying to get this pass away was Triolo as it's skated out here by the Revolutionaries. Puck dumped into the zone. Chasing after this goes Fingerhut. He'll get on it, sends it around looking for Stimmel, kept in by Smekov. Back to Fingerhut now. Fingerhut tried to lift it out, couldn't do so, got stopped away by Jervis. As it finds its way to the 15 of Redden. Redden trying to get his way past the defense, got stopped there by Fingerhut. As this pass meant for Rowland. He gets it to the red line, no further than that though. As it's sent back in, and we're gonna get a whistle for offside. As Doherty will have some words here with Smekov after the play. And Doherty, a lot of chirping as he goes back to the bench. Puck dumped into the zone here by Hecht. Brazil couldn't whack it out of the zone. It goes back here to the defense for St. Joe's. Bouncing puck, trying to work through. Some good work by Lulek to keep it away. Bounced right into the slot, steered aside by Brazil. As it finds its way to O'Rourke. Ebersol gets squeezed into the wall. Lulek there, right into the slot. Szymborski will make the stop. Big save right on the doorstep. That is a huge stop there by Szymborski. Borman will send this one around the wall. Kadehi will get it out. Kuba will give chase. Kuba in a foot race there with Tangretti, as that one is just lofted up into the netting and out of play. Fan actually got that one in the stands, went up and above the netting. Somehow found its way through the netting there on the opposite side where the bleachers are here at the Skatium. 10:45 left to go here in the second period as this is skated forward by the Revolutionaries. Quickly into the zone, it's stolen aside by Kuba as he'll lift that one to center ice. Puck the other way, trying to fly on it. Here's Kadehi, has Gross with him, lays it to him to the back door, trying to go back into the slot. No one was home as it's steered away by the defense. Yoke got a piece of it as well with the paddle as that one's poked away there. Good stick check from Borman on the back check. Now Kadehi He will wheel into the zone. Kadehi into the slot, has that one poked aside as he just ran over a defender. Puck goes into the wall. Kuba squeezed along the boards by Hecht as he's cross-checked a bunch of times, now gets one right in the face. And we're going to get a whistle. And I wonder if we're going to get more than just two here for Hecht. Kuba just got cross-checked about 3 times and then got the third one right into the face. It's going to be a roughing call here on George Washington. So back to the power play goes St. Joe's. This power play brought to you by the Greg McDonald Foundation. Greg McDonald was a proud St. Joe's alum who believed hockey builds leaders. Be where your feet are. Be a part of the legacy. And right back to the power play go the Hawks as they look to take a 3-1 lead here on the man advantage. At the point, Wilson lays off. Carpenter, he nearly had it bumped away. Puck to the wall, back up to Carpenter now at the high point. He fires through traffic, that one redirected just wide. Kuba and Gross both went for the deflection as it goes back up to Wilson. Wilson pulls up, lays off. Romarino back to Carpenter. Carpenter to the back door, looking to try and find this on the wraparound. Chance in front, they score! And it's Kyle Gross who will put that one home. And he makes it a 3-1 game. And St. Joe's 3 goals here in the second period. They turned on the Jets here in this middle frame as here comes the 20 of Hecht flying in. Him and Fingerhut come together as this one's lofted back out. Brazil able to get there first. Brazil tries to go through the toe drag move, went through the legs, just couldn't get back to it. As it goes back up to the point across, Rowland finds it to Fingerhut. Through traffic, that one went high and away. Brazil trying to get to it there. Wasn't able to do so as it's lofted back out to Rowland, taking the other way. 2-on-1 forming here for George Washington. Pass right into the slot through 5-hole, and they score! And it's Pierce Simoni who tucks that one through 5-hole there on Szymborski. Got him moving, thinking he was going to go pass, and it's a 1-goal game. And just like that, the Revolutionaries trying to fight back into this one. As this one meant for the back door, almost found Romarino again. As Kadehi fires, that shot's blocked away. Bouncing puck picked back up by George Washington. Sprung out here for Smetkov as it finds its way back to Ebersol. Ebersol sends it up to Shanahan. He tried to get it into the zone as Carpenter just laid the hammer down in the corner by the bench. Carpenter, he gets cross-checked from behind, and that's going to draw a call. And George Washington touches up on it, and now we're going to get the whistle. And right back to the power play. Will go the Hawks. And the referees are going to discuss this here. So it's a hit from behind. And this is going to be on Pierce Simoni. The referee's trying to figure out who this is actually going to be on here. And actually, it's going to be on the 5 of Sawyer Von Jess. So it's on Von Jess. He will go to the box. It's going to be a hit from behind here on Von Jess. That penalty to Joe Hecht is still up on the board, but it's still 5-on-4, not 5-on-3, even though that penalty to Hecht is still up there on the scoreboard here. So with 8:19 left to go, here in period number 2, the Hawks go right back to the power play. As the Revolutionaries try to clear, can't do so, kept in at the point. Pass off by Wilson, Carpenter goes right back to him. Wilson looking to Carpenter again, already has one here in this one today. Back up to Wilson again. Wilson fakes the shot, finds Kuba. To Wilson again from the point, redirected, that one got kicked wide. Carpenter on it again here. From the blue line, that shot got blocked away. That was blocked by Benaka. As Romarino, he's hit into the wall, and we're going to get another penalty. It's going to be a boarding call here on Thomas Benaka. So it's going to be a boarding call here on Benaka. And now it's going to be a 5-on-3 here for the Hawks. Huge opportunity to get their 2-goal lead back. Face-off one here by SJU. Kuba with it here at the point. Sends it across to Carpenter at the top of the circle. Carpenter walks in, rings it off the near side post. Would have sniped that one right over the blocker there of Yoke if it had gone in. Finds its way to Carpenter again here. Had that one taken aside for a second by Pierce Simoni. As Romarino keeps this away. Gross able to drive in the zone. Lays back for Romarino. Romarino across, tried to find Carpenter, just couldn't connect on the feed. Goes back to Romarino at the point. 53 seconds left, a 5-on-3, and they score! It's Kuba with a laser beam to the top shelf. That was a rip there from Kuba, and it is a 4-2 game in favor of the Hawks. And the Hawks are still going to be on the power play as well. To that second penalty to Thomas Benaka. Still 1:26 left to go on that penalty. So St. Joe's still on the man advantage here. Rowland will play this across Brazil. He's stopped. O'Rourke with it now. O'Rourke finds Rowland. He will skate back. Rowland in his own end, looking for some options. He will find Brazil. Brazil skates in. He will play it around the wall. Opts to give chase on it as well. Gets to it first. Looking to set up shop with 52 seconds left to go on the power play as Rowland fires through traffic. That one stopped away. Blockered there by Yoke. As Kadehi spins around, up to Rowland. To Kadehi again. Kadehi into the slot. Backhand chance, rings off the post again. And it's cleared away there by the Revolutionaries. What a chance there for St. Joe's to make it 5-2. Ringed it off the iron. 18 seconds left to go on the power play. Under 6 to go here in the second period. As this puck finds its way to Brazil. Brazil blew a tire, but he gets it into the zone anyway as Doherty looks to center. Loose puck, trying to turn and fire. Brazil fires. That one got steered away by the defense. Back up to Rowland. We're back to 5-on-5 as this one-timer from Kadehi is held on to. And we're finally back to 5-on-5. with some more chirping going on. And it looks like Shanahan and Hecht are going to go to the box here. And we're both still going at it, so they're both going to get a 10-minute misconduct. Refs trying to settle the game down here. So Hecht and Shanahan both going into the sin bin. We'll play 4-on-4. But they're going to be done for a little while longer, as they both have 10-minute misconducts on top of it. It's actually going to be 5-on-5 instead. They're going to call them coincidentals. So coincidental penalties there to Shanahan and Joe Hecht. And they each got 10-minute misconducts as well, so they won't come back until sometime in the third period rather. About 4 and change minutes into that third period, as Ebersol has this one go by him and out of the zone. Puck nearly stolen away, but Doherty's able to corral it. Has to lay back here. Finds Ebersol. He launches one to center ice. Goes all the way back to the defense here of George Washington. As Lulek finds Ebersol. Ebersol tried to play this one forward. Bouncing puck for Doherty, as he will get it in deep. Stimmel fires around. To it first goes Lulek. Tried to pinch and keep it in. Couldn't do so. Out the other way it comes here for George Washington. Into the zone goes Smekov. He's nearly ran over there by Triolo as that shot is blocked away. Doherty caught that one right in the ankle. He'll get to it first. Looks to clear. Finds it across to Stimmel into the zone. Stimmel looking. Fires. Rebound chance. They score! Stimmel puts that one home. Yoke got a piece of it, but the rebound popped right back out, and Stimmel puts it into the back of the cage. And it is a 5-2 game here for St. Joe's. 5 goals in the second period alone. It's 5 different goal scorers as well. As Borman skates this one back, we'll play it up off the wall, trying to find Wilson on the pass. Borman will send it forward again. Gross trying to get it into the zone. 4:15 left to go here in period number 2. As St. Joe's trying to center that one for Gross, it won't go. Down behind the goal line is Kuba. Kuba just has to play off as he got a high check. Back up to the point here for Borman. Borman lays off. Working their way through. Laid off, trying to get a shot through was Kadehi, but his pass was picked as now Borman will loft it across the Gross again. Gross finds Kadehi. Has Kuba with him. Kadehi looking. Tried to split through the D. Couldn't do it. As it's played back out to center ice. Here comes George Washington streaking in with speed. Wilson stops that shot attempt as it lofts its way back to center ice. Kuba hit the deck. Picked back up here by Rich, who will play it in for a moment. Bounces back to the neutral zone. Lofted here to the glove of Wilson, who will play it across to Borman. Borman, his pass to Kadehi launched into the zone. And that's going to be an icing here on St. Joe's. Face off one back by George Washington. Quick shot from the top of the circle, and they score! The slap shot from the blue line from Kieran Laffey makes it 5-3. That was a rip past the glove side of Szymborski. And it's a 2-goal game once again. As George Washington not backing down here in this one, trying to claw their way back. Here down by 2 in the second, 5 goals from St. Joe's here in this middle frame, as that one is stopped there by Sage Yoke. Face off one back out here. Goes all the way back to Rowland as he tries to spring a nice little pass forward. Able to find it up the flag. Flag walked by one defender as it goes into the corner. There for Laffey, scored the most recent goal. This one goes back up to the point, kept by Fingerhut with the glove. Fires that one on, it went wide, deflected by Flag. As it's kept here in the zone, O'Rourke to Flag to the back door for Brazil. Couldn't get it to go. Puck just a little too bouncy on him, as Fingerhut will pick it up and send it right back into the zone. Here with 2:23 left to go in the period. Puck down behind the goal line here for the Revolutionaries. Able to lift this one up and out to center ice. Trying to get onto that was Savage. As it's collected by Carpenter. Carpenter looking around one, looking into the slot. Flag was there as Brazil was trying to be the third man in. Goes back out to Fingerhut in the neutral zone. Brazil tried to send that in, couldn't do it. Gets past Wilson. They're going to wave off this icing as it finds its way to Carpenter here. Carpenter spins away from the check there from Schuster. Able to keep this puck with some good edge work as Carpenter drives his way in. Bouncing on him as this goes to the wall. Good hit into the boards there for SJU as this goes back up to the point. Wilson with a good keep at the blue line. Wilson looking across, finds Borman. Borman to Wilson again. Top of the point. He fires. That one went wide. Was looking for the redirect for Romarino as he's right back on it. Romarino to the wall. Down in the far corner. Crossed up with one of his teammates. Still has the puck. Carpenter tried to center there looking for Triolo. Couldn't do it. Still on it is Carpenter. Back up to the point. Finds Wilson. Wilson lays off Borman looking. Borman to the opposite side. Carpenter tries to go top shelf. That one went high and away. Rings all the way off the glass and out of the zone with 52 seconds left to go in the period. Carpenter with it again. He'll just loft this one in. Chasing goes Triolo as him and the 12 of Tangretti came together down low. Bouncing puck. It comes out the other way. 2-on-2. Trying to fly in with speed, looking to get a shot off. Szymborski will stop it and cover up with 31 seconds left to go in the period. Off that draw, one there by St. Joe's, looking to try and clear. They can't get it out of the zone. Was kept in for a second. Now Kadehi sends it out. Goes back to Von Jess. Up off the wall. This is dumped in. And this is going to be an icing. Here on George Washington. Scramble off that face-off there as it's sent around the boards. Rowland trying to keep it in. Kadehi, what a jump to keep that in with the glove, my goodness. Dove across like a center fielder trying to glove a ball sent out to midfield. as that will do it for the second. 5 goals in the middle frame for St. Joe's. And they lead 5-3 here over George Washington in this one tonight. 40 minutes of hockey done. Shots 28-20 in favor of St. Joe's, but we're going to step aside, take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the third period of action for you. Don't go anywhere here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Welcome back, everybody. You're watching St. Joe's Hawks Ice Hockey, presented by Breakout Sports Broadcasting, live here on YouTube. My name is Carlo Pascal. We are back here for the third. A 5-goal second period for the Hawks powers them to a 5-3 lead coming in to the third period. Shots currently 28-20 in favor of St. Joe's as we get ready for this third period. 40 down, 20 to go here between the Hawks and the George Washington University Revolutionaries. It's been a great one so far. Combined 8 goals between the two teams. Last time they played was a 11-2 rout for St. Joe's. A little bit different in this one here between the Hawks and George Washington. There were 13 combined goals in that one. Might end up reaching that point anyway here in this one, if things continue the way they did in the second with the tons of scoring. 7 combined goals in the second period. 5 for St. Joe's, 2 for the Revolutionaries as we get ready for the third. Once again, thank you for joining us here on BSB. Here to close out the weekend, the final 20 minutes here between the Hawks and the Revolutionaries, and we're off and running here for the third stanza of this one tonight. Quickly off the draw, sent back into the George Washington end, sprung back out to the neutral zone with some speed. Smetkov will work his way through. That one skipped wide off the deflection from Borman. Puck back to the neutral zone. Kuba tried to fly into the zone. Picked back up by Kadehi. Kadehi looking through. He fires right into the glove there of Sage Yoke. Yoke was great in period number 1. Stopped all the shots he faced in the first, and then since then, St. Joe's, with the help of some power play opportunities, have found the back of the net 5 times. As that one centered, looking for Kadehi, wouldn't go. It's collected by Redden as trying to get it out. There was Banaka. Bouncing puck here, finally finds its way to Smetkov, who will send it forward for Redden. Redden, he fires. That's blocked by Borman. As Kuba will get on it here on the back check. He's hit into the wall. Borman with a good job to stand up Redden as it's moved along the boards back to Kuba, who will look up, played off the glass and out of the zone. Won't have enough juice for an icing. As it's picked up here by the 27 of Laffey. Has the most recent goal scored on a slap shot from the top of the circle, beating Mark Szymborski in between the pipes here for the Hawks today. As Fingerhut will launch this one into the zone. Back to get it goes Von Jess. He will keep this puck, sends it forward, able to find Pierce Simone, who will send it in. There was some help from Jervis as it's sent right back out quickly to the center ice dot. Right back in with some speed is Pierce Simone, and holding on is Szymborski. .18:13 left to go here in the third period as this one's sent around the end wall here for Rowland off that draw. Bouncing puck along the boards for Van Roar. As this puck lofted up into the netting there off the boards, we'll get another whistle. And we're hoping this game wraps up just before 8 o'clock. Currently 6:51 local time here at the Skatium in Haverford, PA. So we can get you guys primed for the Game 7 of the World Series. As that's lofted up into the ceiling. With all the stoppages, we might not finish by 8 o'clock. Bunch of stoppages in a row here. And alongside the hockey, looking at some other sports. For you Eagles fans that I'm sure are tuning in since we're here in PA, here for BSB, a big rare in-season trade as the Eagles just traded for Jairo Alexander from the Ravens. So big pickup there for the Eagles. Good trade for them. They get Jair Alexander and a 2027 7th for a 26th 6th rounder, and that's it. So good trade there for Philly as this one's played across here for Rowland as he will send into the zone. Back to collect here goes the 36 of Tom Maripodi. Sent around the wall, able to find it up to the 23 of Jacob Bergeman. Bergeman, he's stripped of the puck. Sent up to Carpenter, already has one here today. He fires that one wide. Bedard-style shot there as Romarino will get on it. He finds Fingerhut. Across for Carpenter. His pass knocked forward, back to get it. Goes Maripodi again. He sends along the wall. O'Rourke there to keep it away. O'Rourke tried to center. No one was there for the Hawks as O'Rourke gets on it again. Bounces here to Jane Chill. As O'Rourke comes away with it, looking to center. No one was there a second time. There for SJU as Brazil will keep it in the zone. Brazil from the point, glove down by Yoke. Scramble off this draw, lofted up and out of the zone there by George Washington. It'll find its way back to the stick here of Wilson as he sends it around to Borman. Borman flips it out, looking to try and spring that one for flag, but it bounced away from him as Von Jess will play it off. Puck over to the near side for Jane Chill. Wilson will get on it as the Eights duel together there. Walking on in, here come the Revolutionaries. Beautiful move by Pierce Simone, able to find it down low behind the goal line. He gets it back. Pierce Simone looking to center, bouncing puck for Jane Chill. He can't hammer. Szymborski with a nice save, and we get a whistle. Not sure what that whistle was for. Looks like the net may have came off its moorings. Here with 15:48 left to go. Here in this game, shots currently 29-22 in favor of SJU as this goes to the point. Shot goes wide there from the blue line. Kept in there by Banaka. At the blue line, delayed offside there for the Revolutionaries, and now they touch up on it. And that will be an offside here on George Washington. Puck sent into the zone by Banaka. Here off that draw, Kuba with it now along the boards, flips it up and out. Banaka has it get by him. After it goes Kadehi, centers it for Gross, he scores! Oh, what a feed from Kadehi to Gross! That was a rip from Kyle Gross, his second of the game. And St. Joe's make it 6-3. What a one-time wrister from Kyle Gross. The junior from Westchester ripped that home off that feed from Kadehi. Beautiful backhand saucer to get it over to him. And it's a 3-goal lead yet again here for St. Joe's. As this puck picked back up here, finds its way to Gross again. He's on hat trick watch. Gross driving and lays off, looking for Kuba. Couldn't connect on the feed as Kadehi goes to the point. Kept in there by the 27 of Moore as it's sent around the boards. Bouncing puck, Kadehi takes down a man. Puck out the other way. Dumped in, sent around the wall. To it first goes the 10 of Von Rohr as he tried to center, stick aside by Szymborski. Now flying the other way. Here comes Kadehi down the right side wall all alone, trying to get through the defense. He fights off the check, tried to keep it away as the 5 of Von Jess went into the wall. Kept in the zone. Only for a second as it finds its way back to center ice. Nearly taken away was Piersimoni. As Roland looks up, finds Stimmel, bouncing puck as it enters the zone. Goes right back out as Piersimoni's on it again. Piersimoni able to blow by the defense with some crazy speed as he tried to center, no one was there. Trying to slot that one right into the low slot, steered aside as they looked for the pass there for Jervis. As it goes to the corner, Piersimoni looked to center for Jervis again. Shot from the point, redirected wide as it's collected by Fingerhut, launched to the blue line and out. They're gonna wave off the icing. As into the wall goes the 13 of Triolo alongside Tangretti. Going the other way again goes Redden. He's taken down, no call. Redden trying to break through, and now we're going to get the whistle. Indeed, there was a penalty on the play as Redden got tripped. So the captain for the Revolutionaries draws a penalty. And to the box goes the 86 of Dylan Kuba. So now to the power play. Or actually, it's going to be Stimmel who's going to go to the box. Kuba was just sitting on the edge of the boards there. So it's going to be Stimmel to the box. And to the power play go the George Washington Revolutionaries. Here on the PK, when you're shorthanded, grit matters most, just like the Greg McDonald Foundation, fighting to keep kids in the game with scholarships and support. Be where your feet are. Be part of the legacy. Here on this penalty kill, sponsored by the Greg McDonald Foundation. 1:25 left to go here on the power play for the Revolutionaries. Trying to center, they score! They make it 6-4. They're not done yet. A shootout here in this one. 10 combined goals. As the Revolutionaries fighting to try and get their way back into this one, down by 2. Still a lot of time left on the clock. 12:35 left to go here in the game as that hops up into the netting. Face-off back at center ice. As walking in, that one stopped away by Szymborski on the slap shot there from Von Rohr. Puck sent around the wall. Tapped forward but not out by St. Joe's. Kept in the zone. Yet again, now it's taken out. Romarino the other way. Has Carpenter with him. Romarino looking. Drop pass. That one saved on the initial shot. Puck still loose going towards the crease, and it's covered up by Yoke. Big couple of saves there from Yoke. That was a rip from Jackson Shanahan off that drop pass from Romarino. Face-off one here by the Revolutionaries. As Carpenter will keep this in the zone. Good keep as he tried to find Shanahan on the pass, but it's played out here by Von Jess. Puck taken by Carpenter. He's knocked off of it there by Redden. Good stick check there from the captain as Wilson will send it around looking for Borman. He lost the handle of the pass. It goes back here to Wilson down low. Played it aside, picked off by Redden. Redden looking for an option in the slot. Has to cycle back around into the circle. He fires, stopped by Szymborski. Rebound was still loose as Wilson sends it away. Good chances here for George Washington as that one bounces. Romarino will beat out this icing. On the change are St. Joe's. Romarino able to pull up here in the corner, plays it off. O'Rourke looking to feather it across for Brazil. Romarino in the slot. That one stopped away there by the 31 of Yoke. Fingerhut looking to fire, rings it off the top of the crossbar. What a shot there from him as Yoke with another save. St. Joe's looking for more here in this one. They've hit the post about 6 times in this game. As this finds its way to the goal line. Puck sent around the wall. Not out of the zone just yet, kept in here by Ginkener. As now Redden will look to try and move it out of the zone. Able to do so, goes back to center ice. Rowland can't get a tap on that one as Fingerhut will skate it in. Fingerhut driving through, he fires right into the glove of Yoke, and he'll hold on for the stoppage. Face-off won by the Revolutionaries again. They've been pretty good in the face-off dot here in this one tonight. Still down by 2 goals. As this pass sent into the zone here for Jervis. Trying to fire. That one sticked away by Ebersol and goes up into the netting. It looks like the clock actually ran a little bit there after the whistle, so we're going to have to put some time back on the clock. And it seems like it's supposed to be 10:04 they're saying is going to be on the board. So they're going to have to wait 4 seconds to start the clock here. And that one finds its way to Szymborski. And the clock now down to 9:59. Just under the halfway mark of this second period. Or third period, rather, excuse me. As this is picked up here and launched into the zone by Kadehi. Kuba will chase after it. Sent to the wall here for Jervis. Trying to clear the zone. Down there is Gross. He's got 2 already tonight. Launched out here for Piersimoni. Piersimoni flying in. He fires, kicked aside by Szymborski. Good save from him. As this puck goes to the wall for Kuba. Kuba lifts this forward. Beautiful pass to Kadehi as he enters the zone. Kadehi trying to get to it, takes a man down. We continue on as Kadehi and Gross trying to center to Kuba. He couldn't find it. As Kadehi is all over top of what looks like the 36 of Marapodi as they go down together. Gross comes over trying to break it up. Alongside Joe Hecht is there. And almost a line brawl. As we'll have to see what happens here with the penalties. And we're going to have to try and figure out these penalties here. Referees are going to discuss here at the scorer's box. The captains will await the word. Kadehi, the only man in there right now. As him and Marapodi got into it. Coming over to help was Joe Hecht. Gross got in there too. The referee's still discussing things here. And Kadehi doing some chirping there. Still waiting the word as the referee's talking about it still before they give it to the scorer's box. Captain's on the ice waiting for some answers from the referees. And it looks like Kadehi's night is done. So Kadehi will be done for the night. He will go to the locker room. His night is over. We'll wait for the official word on penalties in a moment. Referee's still discussing things. Over at the scorer's box. Kieran Laffey and Shane Wilson still waiting for the word. Here on the penalties, as we hope to find out soon as well. Going to have to try and figure out what these are once the referees deal them out to the scorer's box. Sure, the coaches are going to want some explanations as well. Head coach for the Hawks, Dean Keeney. And head coach for the Revolutionaries, Jonathan Moynihan. The captain's now getting told what the penalties are. Right now there's a penalty up on the board here for Joe Hecht. 2-minute penalty for him, so he'll have to go to the box. So Hecht is going to have to go to the box here. We're going to have to see what else goes up on the board. There was the initial penalty to Kadehi, I think, for that cross-checking call. And from what it looks like, St. Joe's might end up on the power play here. The only penalty on the board is to Hecht. Kadehi's penalty, will have to try and figure out what it was. And it seems like St. Joe's are going to go to the man advantage here. So St. Joe's are going to go to the power play after all of that. Not sure what the penalties were. Could read the lips down there of Kieran Laffey as he was talking to his bench, saying that the referee said that George Washington started it. So to the power play goes St. Joe's as it finds its way to Kuba. Kuba across. Carpenter fires, stopped there by Yoke. As this is lofted out of the zone. This power play is brought to you by the Greg McDonald Foundation. Greg McDonald was a proud St. Joe's alum who believed hockey builds leaders. Be where your feet are. Be a part of the legacy. As trying to drive in there with St. Joe's, it's cleared yet again down the ice. Shots 35-28 in favor of St. Joe's. As Wilson will send this forward. Kuba goes back to Wilson. The captain looking up, will send in. Giving chase goes Gross to the wall. Gross puts it down in the corner. Kuba into the boards, trying to get to Romarino again. Gross down low. Kuba looking for an option. Kuba tried to go for the lacrosse move, but it got deflected and went up into the netting. That would have been something if he had pulled that one off. Would have been nasty if he was able to finish that one. He was close as well. 46 seconds left to go here on the power play. Here for St. Joe's. Puck picked up and sent down the ice here by Tangretti. As Wilson sends this one up to Fingerhut. Fingerhut into the zone. Plays across Brazil with it. Back up to the point. Roland there. 39 seconds left to go on the man advantage. He fires through the lane. That one steered aside by Yoke. Another chance. That's blocked away by the defense. And it comes back out to the neutral zone. Roland lays off to Brazil. Brazil works his way in, trying to work around the defense. Brazil, toe drag move, almost tucked. That one would have been highlight reel for Brazil, but he couldn't get it to go as it's sent away there by Yoke. My goodness, Brazil with a set of hands. Nearly would have been goal of the year if he had finished that one. As Roland has this down low, we're back to 5-on-5 now. Here with 7:10 left to go. As this one is sent around the wall. I don't know how Yoke made either of those stops. As Roland can't keep that one in. This one sent into Yoke. He will just glove that one down and lay it off. St. Joe's now up to 40 shots here in the game. As this is played across to Pierce Simone. Now Roland. Feeds it up to Carpenter. Carpenter pulls up, looking across, finds Romarino on the feed. Romarino fires, that's knocked away by Yoke again. A big hit into the wall, and that's going to draw a call. Here on George Washington as Carpenter tried to get the shot off. Flag to Carpenter, he fires, loose in the crease, and we get the whistles. Romarino just got dogpiled as Carpenter comes over to defend him. And going to the box is Banaka. And Riley Pierce-Simone's going to go to the box as well. His was an interference. And Banaka went for a cross check. So it's going to be 2 penalties up on the board. Here for George Washington. And it looks like Pierce-Simone's actually going to come out of the box. It was actually Denis Smetkov. It was Smetkov who actually threw that interference hit. So there should be 2 penalties up on the board here. There's only 1 right now. .6:27 left to go. Penalties to number 11, Denis Smetkov, and number 9, Thomas Banaka. And a 5-on-3 here for St. Joe's for 2 minutes. Pass across into the slot. What a save by Yoke. This 5-on-3 power play is brought to you by the Greg McDonald Foundation. Greg McDonald was a proud St. Joe's alum who believed hockey builds leaders. Be where your feet are. Be a part of the legacy. Thank you to the Greg McDonald Foundation for sponsoring these as Carpenter goes wide. Wilson was there on the back door as it's knocked away there by Yoke again. Kept in the zone here by St. Joe's though. Gross looking down low. Wilson there. Wilson has that steered away and it's cleared down by George Washington. Kuba will go back and get it. 1:23 left to go on the power play here for St. Joe's. As this one finds Wilson on the pass. Wilson here in the circle will play it around looking for Kuba. And the Hawks will set up shop. Kuba to Gross. He's got two already in this one. Kuba looking back to Gross again. Up to the point, Romarino there. Into Carpenter in the slot. He fires, that one's blocked away. It finds its way back to Kuba though, as he plays across to Romarino. Romarino down low, Gross there, looking to the point. Kuba fires, that one trickled just wide off the redirects as Gross gets back on it. Gross looking, 42 seconds to go on the power play. Romarino down low, behind the goal line, he pulls up in the corner. Try to center back up to Carpenter, but it's sent out of the zone as Romarino is down in the corner. He's going to have to try and get back on side as Carpenter will enter the zone. He tried to dance by, still with the puck here down low. Carpenter with it, darting around, back into the slot for Kuba. Carpenter with it again, across to the back door, they score! Romarino taps it home in front. And St. Joe scores on the power play. Von Jess was going at Carpenter as well right before that sequence and afterwards, and he is irate. Slammed his stick along the boards, and it's a 7-4 lead. And it looks like Von Jess is going to go to the box here for slamming his stick after that goal and getting into the face there of Romarino. So he's going to go to the penalty box, and another penalty is going to go on the board. So right after scoring a power play goal, and it looks like Von Jess is going to go to the locker room. He is done for the night. Got a misconduct call. So instead of a 2-minute, it's a 10. There for Von Jess, so his night is over, and we're going to get a whistle here right off the draw. And we're going to get a tripping call here on St. Joe's, and it's going to be on the 20 of Pat Doherty. So we'll play 4-on-4 for 9 seconds. So we'll play 4-on-4 for 9 seconds here. And then a shortened George Washington Revolutionaries power play. And the referee's trying to control this game here. It's already gotten out of hand a few times. Tons of penalties here in the second and third. The first was very clean. And then in the second and third period, it has just been penalty after penalty after penalty. As this goes up to the point, 5 seconds left to go, a 4-on-4 as it's taken by Fingerhut the other way. He tried to go for the dangle as it goes into the wall here for Laffey. He tries to dart around the defense. O'Rourke was there to get a stick in as trying to drive through there with Smetkov. Now on the power play are the Revolutionaries. This pass across goes into the corner for Smetkov again. And it's sent out of the zone here. When you're shorthanded, grit matters most. Just like the Greg McDonald Foundation fighting to keep kids in the game with scholarships and support. Be where your feet are. Be part of the legacy. As this is taken here by St. Joe's and sent the distance. Once again, thank you to the Greg McDonald Foundation for sponsoring our games here for St. Joe's, as this is driven into the zone here by Pierre Simone. Delayed offside on the play, and now we get the whistle. Here with 3:30 left to go in the period. Faceoff is going to come out of the zone. Shots currently 45-28. As this one is sent all the way down the ice. Goes back here to Sage Yoke. Has given up 7 here in this one. As Shanahan is able to get this one out of the zone. Puck goes all the way back here for Smetkov. 30 seconds left to go on the power play for George Washington. They will work their way forward. That one went right up into the netting, though, on the dump in. There from Tangretti. And this faceoff, I think, will come to center ice. Faceoff sent right into the zone. There of the Revolutionaries for a second, as they will play this one across. Driving in, here comes Marapodi. His shot goes wide. To it first is Borman, and he gets it out. And we are back to 5-on-5 as this puck finds its way to Carpenter. Carpenter looking, try to go back up to the point. Carpenter with it again down low, looking for some options. Driving around, Carpenter still with the puck. Up to the point, finds Wilson. Wilson in front, bouncing. That one goes wide, meant for Doherty along the boards. As he has it now down there. Looking to center for Carpenter, it's poked aside. Carpenter trying to keep this down there. Doherty over to help him as he's tied up there with 2 skaters. St. Joe's trying to change on the fly. Here with 2 minutes left to go in the period and in this game, as it goes back here to Marapodi. Marapodi nearly rocked by Doherty as they come together along the boards. Doherty, he's knocked down, and that's going to be a penalty again here on George Washington. And it is going to be on the 23 of Jacob Bergman, the senior from Oak Park, California, is going to go to the sin bin here. And back to the power play. Go St. Joe's. This power play brought to you once again by the Greg McDonald Foundation. Greg McDonald, a proud St. Joe's alum who believed hockey builds leaders. Be where your feet are. Be a part of the legacy. St. Joe's fire in onto that one. It's held on to. There by Sage Yoke yet again. So St. Joe's is likely going to end this game here on the power play as Moore looks for a lane. That shot goes wide of the cage. Brazil to the wall. Brazil looking. He will lay off this pass here for Flag. Goes back up to the point. From the blue line, Moore fires that shot. It's skipped wide. Ebersol back up to the point again for Flag. Flag to Moore. Moore back up to Flag again. Flag looking, trying to find Moore on the pass a third time, and it's cleared out of the zone. Here by the Revolutionaries. 1:02 left to go here in the third period. 1:13 left to go on the power play as Brazil will walk his way through. Driving through, but he got poke checked at the last second by Tangretti. Trying to center no one home. It skips out of the zone, and Ebersol will have to go track this down. Ebersol down behind his own cage. He'll skate this one across. Finds it over to Flag. Up to Brazil. Brazil spins it through, looking for Flag, but he mishandled the pass, and it goes to the blue line, kept by Ebersol, though. Bouncing puck, trying to clear is George Washington. They do. 22 seconds left to go in the game as Brazil walks in again. Brazil down behind the goal line, able to keep this puck in the corner. Goes out of the zone, will send it all the way back, and St. Joe's will hold on and win and make it 12 straight victories for the Hawks. 7-4 the final. SJU, 12 straight wins. Final shots at the end of the game, 46-28. Sage Yoke stops 38 of 46. And over on the other side for St. Joe's, Mark Szymborski stops 23 of 28. And that will do it for this one, as St. Joe's continue their hot stretch. 12th straight victory for the Hawks. Now up to 36 points on the year, 12-2 on the season. Defeating one of their ACCHL elite foes here in this one tonight. GWU falls to 4-6. St. Joe's 12-2 so far this season, have been red hot so far this year for 25-26. But that is going to wrap it up for this one. A big victory for St. Joe's, 7-4 the final. That'll wrap it up for all the action here on BSB this weekend. Thank you for joining us for all of our games here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting throughout this weekend. But we are going to say goodbye here at 7:30, just in time for the World Series to start in a half hour. So we will see you guys very soon. Have a good night, everybody. We'll talk to you then. My name is Crolla Pascal. We'll see you later.